Welcome to the Wild Crone Wisdom podcast with your host Vinutha Mohan. In this episode, we explore the human tendency to look to the world to find and complete ourselves. Through this journey, we realize that the only way home is within, where we discover the missing link, the 10th man. In Vedanta, there is a very famous parable of the missing 10th man. It goes something like this. Once there was a foolish guru who had even more ignorant disciples. One day, the guru and his 9 disciples were crossing a river. The river was flowing with ferocity due to recent rains. The guru and his disciples had to swim across to reach the other bank. After everybody had crossed over, the guru thought it might be wise to ensure that everyone made it across and no man was left behind. So he made his disciples line up and counted them one by one. After counting them, but forgetting himself, the guru was shocked when he realized that they were missing one. He lamented that one of them had drowned in the river. The disciples were in disbelief. They begged the guru for a recount, and he entrusted a senior disciple with the counting this time. So the senior disciple lined them up and again counted everyone except himself. He too lamented that the guru was indeed right. One of the brothers had drowned. Very soon, others took turns to count and ended up with the same conclusion. Surely they had lost a brother. As they lay there on the river bank, wailing and crying, a wise man passed by and asked them what they were crying about. The guru informed him about the tragic loss of one of his beloved disciples who drowned while crossing the river. We were 10 and now we are only 9, lamented the guru. The wise man quickly appraised the situation. He gently implored the guru to give him a chance to find the missing man. He asked the guru to line them all up again and invited him to count them one more time. The guru reluctantly agreed and as usual counted the disciples one by one and ended up with 9. See, we are only 9. We lost one, he retorted angrily. The wise man gently took the hand of the guru and turned it back towards his heart and said, You are the 10th man. The guru and the disciples were overjoyed and profusely thanked the wise man for the miracle he performed. This story is a powerful metaphor for our own journey in life. We are often searching for a missing piece of ourselves, something that feels just out of reach, a sense of purpose, happiness, peace, or more often a low grade dissatisfaction seems to be constantly humming in the background. What are we all looking for? Or, more importantly, who are we looking for? We seem to be looking for a sense of self in the world of forms. The famous spiritual teacher Eckhart Tolle says that people, situations, and things are not here to fulfill you and make you happy. Like the guru and his disciples, we tend to look outside ourselves for wholeness. We lose ourselves in our relationships, our roles, our titles, in pursuit of our ambition, and take a rain check on our inner happiness, believing that one day when we get all that we want, then we will begin the self actualization project. But like the foolish guru and his disciples, we find ourselves frustrated, confused, and in disbelief that no matter what we accomplish on the outside, something seems to be eluding us on the inside. Something is missing. Well, something is clearly missing. You. How many of us have lost ourselves in our marriages, in our role as parents, in our corporate careers, in our pursuit of the perfect life, in our denial about our aging bodies and sagging skins, even in our pursuit of enlightenment? When you have spent a few decades looking for yourself in the world, you begin to realize that perhaps you're never going to find yourself there. The next stage is people turning to philanthropy, gurus, and self help books to find themselves there. Eckhart Tolle says that the most dangerous ego is the spiritual ego. Community service, Sunday Mass, study groups, chant circles, many retreats later, you realize that all you have done is transferred your ambitious type A personality from the corporate careers to your church groups, Zen retreats, and nonprofits. You're still looking for the 10th man or woman. He, she, they are still missing. So, how do we find ourselves? As the wise man indicates in the parable, you can only find yourself within you, not outside of you. Nothing in the external world is going to complete you. This idea can feel abstract, but many teachers have offered ways to bring it to life. One powerful approach comes from Brene Brown. Brene teaches us how to honor and love ourselves from within using what I call the 3 C's: courage, compassion, and connection. Courage to love ourselves, courage to choose ourselves, courage to disappoint others because we choose to not disappoint ourselves, courage to reach out and ask for help, courage to speak your truth and acknowledge it, courage to live your life with integrity. Living with integrity means choosing to honor what is true for you moment to moment and living from that inner knowing. Integrity means choosing what is right over what is fun, fast, and easy, as Brene says. Compassion is showing loving kindness towards yourself, towards your fragilities and imperfections, towards your many stumbles all day long, towards that harsh voice of the inner judge who uses contempt and criticism to motivate you, towards your many failures at achieving perfection, towards your many frustrations, irritations, overwhelm, myriad feelings that you feel all day long. Compassion is accepting that you are flawsome, a term I've come to love, coined by the intuitive healer Robert Ohoto. Through courage and compassion, we re establish that connection with the spirit within, our divine essence, a piece of heaven, the missing link, the 10th man, woman. When we feel that strong connection within, we can establish the strong connection without, with our family, our friends, co workers, our community, our neighborhood, our homes, our land, and our earth. Then perhaps we won't lament about the loss of our beloved selves. And perhaps we won't need a wise other to rescue us from our self abandonment. As Edith Eger, the 92-year-old best selling author and Holocaust survivor, says, remember, you are the only one you will never lose. You can look outside yourself to feel cherished, or you can learn to cherish yourself. Thanks for listening to this episode of the Wild Crone Wisdom with your host Vinutha Mohan. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist from the Bay Area, California, specializing in trauma and attachment repair. I'm also a certified EMDR specialist and a certified shamanic practitioner. In this podcast series, we delve into the journey of our spiritual essence having a human experience. While many social scientists study human emotions, thoughts, and behaviors, and others explore transcendental experiences, few bridge the gap to help embody the spiritual wisdom in everyday life. I call this the psycho-spiritual path. Through this podcast, I hope to share bite-sized practical insights for navigating life as an empowered sovereign being. If you found this episode valuable, we'd greatly appreciate your support. Please consider rating, reviewing, commenting, and subscribing on your podcast platform to help us reach a wider audience. You can explore more of my writings on Medium by following the link in the show notes. We'd also love to hear about your experience, so feel free to share your thoughts with us at Wild Crone Wisdom Podcast at gmail.com. Thank you for being part of our journey. Please be advised the information provided in the Wild Crone Wisdom podcast is intended for general information purposes only. Vinutha Mohan is a licensed therapist and healer. However, the content shared in this podcast does not replace or constitute professional advice, therapy, or counseling. It is essential to consult with a qualified mental health professional for personalized guidance regarding your unique circumstances. Thank you.